Flora sits in the home office for her regularly scheduled video visit with Connor. In another era, she would have gotten done up for the chat with her husband, or at least brushed her hair and rubbed on tinted lip balm. But today, she's rocking loose cheetah print sweats with an oversized red cotton top. Spit Up and milk have stained both items of clothing, along with everything else she owns. In many cases, she doesn't know where the spit up ends and the milk begins. "I wish your dad could have stayed longer," Connor says, waving to a fellow soldier just off screen. He is planted in front of a computer in the Morale, Welfare, and Recreation tent. Flora doesn't know where in the world he is, and while that would normally bother her, she is so unmoored in her own body these days that it is oddly relatable. She's not the only buoy bobbing in the endless ocean. "Well, he was here for 2 weeks," she says. "My mom feels so bad she can't be there," he continues. "But since Dad's knee surgery got bumped up and she had to push the trip, It's fine, really. She shouldn't feel bad. I'll send her a text." The video feed skips, and she's not sure Connor has heard her, but then his voice comes through sharper than before. "Do you want to hire someone?" "He asked as if we had the money," Flora quips, then feels guilty for being dismissive. "It's fine, really. You're home in a couple of weeks. It would take me longer than that to find someone. Plus, I wouldn't even know where to start." Connor nods and smiles, stretching the scar that runs from his upper lip to his nose. He was born with it, a result of something that happened in the womb. His dark brows are thick and harsh, a stark contrast to the still boyish cheeks that redden the second he has a sip of alcohol. He runs his hand through his hair, dipping his head forward and scratching at the crown, a uniquely Connor move. He did it the day they met at a hole-in-the-wall bar where they were gathered for their alma mater's basketball game. He did it the day they bought this house in Bennington, Vermont, knowing it was a stretch for their budget. And he did it the day she found out she was pregnant. "Guess what, chicken butt?" she'd said as she flashed the tiny stick with 2 blue lines. She was using the tests that had come with the ovulation sticks, so they were much smaller than what she had seen in movies. This one was barely longer than a toothpick, and yet it somehow seemed unwieldy, this tiny thing that held so much significance. "So, this is happening," he'd said, eyes wide, and she'd repeated the words as she climbed into bed next to him, where he had just woken up and was scrolling on his phone. She nuzzled her head in between his shoulder and neck, a spot that had been carved out especially for her, like stone weathered by rain and wind until smooth. Their master bedroom had been largely unfurnished then. The purchase of the house had overshadowed their ability to buy things to fill it. This meant that the house often emitted an eerie feeling, like the space didn't yet know itself. But on this day, that unknowing presented hope, a new beginning. The space had not yet been defined because the life that was going to define it had only just sprung into existence. "Flora?" Connor's voice from the computer pulls her back to the now. She sees him squint at the screen. Can you hear me?" Flora fidgets in the old office chair, whose wheels catch as she tries to move it. "Sorry, got a little lost there," she says to her husband. "I'm tired."